This man comes up and he's just nice to me. We talk for like 10 minutes. He's not hitting on me. He doesn't want anything. He's just nice. Now, I'm never going to see this man again, but he has me contemplating my entire life. And that's all the fuck it took. Just be nice to me for a few minutes, and I'm rethinking my whole life. I can't stop thinking about this dude.
Isn't that a great thing to know, guys? You can invest your entire life into a woman like this, and all that it takes is 10 minutes of talking to some stranger. She's already convincing herself to bail and that life would be better elsewhere. Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again, and on today's episode we have a video here from Man Guide, and wouldn't you know it, but a lot of modern women are fed up with the behavior of men. Okay, a lot of guys have been going their own way. They have been walking away from dating or not taking women as seriously, and we have here a series of videos where women are not too happy about it. So without further ado, let's take a listen. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments.
Women of LA, listen to me. I'm exhausted with modern day dating culture, and I need your help. Men out here are no longer gentlemen. I am begging you, end hookup culture.
Gee, guys, I wonder why men aren't gentlemen anymore. End hookup culture. It's really interesting how the people who say end hookup culture are the people with 100% control over whether or not it happens in the first place. If you don't want to have casual bedroom fun with men, nobody is forcing you. You do not have to have casual bedroom fun with men. You are not the victim.
If we cut off the sex, their behavior will change. If all of us come together by not coming together, I'm funny, we can change the dating culture. Send this to your girlfriends.
Men, just let you know, y'all won't be getting any until we get our fucking rights back.
I want you. I want to get to know you. I like you. No, you don't! You just want to touch my private parts! This is not a petting zoo!
Oh, one more thing. This is the year of divorces. Every deal we do seems like a divorce.
Beautiful, beautiful girls only date men with vasectomies. Let's take a minute to appreciate these whale pajamas. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful girls delete their OnlyFans.
Have you guys ever noticed that it's always like the women who are in their 30s, in their 40s that get very bitter and very mad and frustrated at men, right? It's never the girls, because the girls who are in their 20s, right, they'll make videos complaining that men won't commit to them and stuff like this, but they continue to go out there and they chase the bad boys. But when it hits 30, right, things start to get real. Okay, the women are not happy. They're frustrated. You know, where have my dating options gone? Oh, well, I'm going to withhold intimacy from men. You think a lot of guys even give a crap about this? There are a lot of guys straight up who are not having intimacy with these women anyway. And your threat to these men is to say, I'm not going to have intimacy with you again. You know, you might want to think about this, right? If you're withholding intimacy from people who, number one, either don't want the intimacy from you in the first place, or number two, weren't getting intimacy from you anyway, it's a pretty empty threat. And we all know that these women are still going to go out there and they're still going to have bedroom fun with the men that they find attractive anyway.
Beautiful, beautiful girls no longer have accounting clients. Beautiful, beautiful girls no longer dance for entertainment. Beautiful, beautiful girls also take all of their photos and videos down off the internet.
It doesn't matter. You still posted them. This is a really funny argument that I've been seeing float around the internet, right? Is you have women who go into these fields, you know, they do OF stuff, they do spicy things online, and then they want to turn around and say, oh, never mind, I'm a good girl now. It doesn't work like that. This is something where it's a one and done, right? You're essentially like a criminal with a very serious record. This is not something that's just very cleanly wiped away. And that's fine. You can go out there, you can do whatever it is that you wish to do. You can go sell spicy content if that's what you want, but don't cry and complain when men won't commit to you because you've done it in the past.
Beautiful, beautiful girls support other beautiful, beautiful girls who may have to take a hiatus from making any kind of money for the time being. Beautiful, beautiful girls say no as a whole sentence. No, period. Because beautiful, beautiful girls know if you don't know how to play with your toys, maybe you don't get to play with them at all.
Here are my predictions for the future of cishet relationships over the next 20 years. History will look back on this period of time from probably 2020 to 2025, but maybe even to 2030, and they're going to refer to it as the Great Divorce or something like that. Maybe the relationship realignment, but the Great Divorce is catchier. We're not only going to see an unparalleled spike in divorces, but we're going to see an unparalleled drop in marriages, particularly remarriages, which are going to fall off a cliff deeper than the Grand Canyon. Right now, cishet men and women are starting this game of chicken, so to speak. As women are just now contending with their unhappiness in long-term relationships, men are right now doubling down. They're trying to call our bluff. They're trying to say, listen, I hear you asking for something different, but you've always complied in the past. So if we just hold the line, if we hold firm, you'll comply this time as well.
We have covered this woman on the channel before. She's a complete and utter nutbag. And in case you're wondering, she's referring to people as cis-het here, meaning cisgender, meaning... I can't even be bothered getting into it. But basically, she's talking about heterosexual relationships here. And whenever these women start up their videos, you can already tell why they're single and why men don't want to date them in the first place. Okay, you can look at these videos and within 2 seconds go, oh yes, I understand why she's divorced. Oh yes, I understand why she doesn't have a long-term relationship, okay? Because oftentimes these people are incredibly patronizing, they're passive-aggressive, they're rude, and then they're shocked and surprised when men are saying, hey, listen, I don't want to date you. I would seriously rather not. I would rather spend time by myself. I would, rather go fishing, or hell, even like build something, build Legos for goodness sake. Right? There are guys who, they will see a woman like this, they will hear her speak and start rambling on about cis-het and about things she will and won't tolerate, and they're just going to say, I'm just going to go fishing, or I'm just going to play golf. I'm not interested in this anymore. I'm going to make my money. I'm going to go and live the way that I want to live, and I'm not going to deal with this.
But what they're missing is that this time is different. This time you have a bunch of women communicating with each other and figuring out for the first time that their unhappiness within heterosexual relationships, particularly marriage, is a feature, not a bug. And the only reason we're realizing this is because we're talking to one another. Most of us have spent our entire lives being like, I'm just buggy. Either there's something about me that's not good at relationships, or there's something about the men that I pick. I've got a buggy picker, or, I just don't have the capacity to be happy in relationships. It's a me problem, right?
Couldn't have said it better myself, right? But see, those things would require taking accountability, right? On this channel, guys, I roast the hell out of men who choose terrible partners. If you want to go out there and you want to go date or wipe up some woman who does OF, right? She does spicy content. Hey, be my guest. But you're going to ruin your life doing it, right? And men are told this, right? Men understand this and they go, you know what? That's my bad. I shouldn't date women like that. Hell no. And they kind of go their own way and they don't deal with women like that anymore. A lot of these women, particularly on TikTok, however, they will date the bad boys. They will date the bad boys. They'll come, closer to taking accountability, and then they just don't take accountability.
But because of social media and TikTok in particular, we're all comparing notes, and for the first time, we're getting this freedom because we're like, I'm not buggy. It's not me. I'm not bad at relationships. The system that we have set up for romantic relationships is just a bad system. It's a system that was designed for men in times when we didn't have our own economic freedom. And now that's changing, and we want to change the system.
What happened to the original plot of the movie?
I stopped dating like a month ago, and already I feel lighter, freedom. I didn't realize how much a weight I left on myself by trying to find the one. There's just always that question lingering of is that the guy? Is that my soulmate? Am I gonna miss him if I'm not eyes wide open 24/7 of my life? As I walk into a grocery store and I'm not darting my eyes at every man looking for a ring on his finger.
Oh, boo-hoo. Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
Have you guys noticed that some of my videos have gone missing over here on YouTube? That is because I am slowly moving them over to locals where I can actually host them without the risk of getting in trouble. If you are not aware, many creators are starting to move over to places like locals, Rumble, etc. because YouTube is not really a free speech platform. So if you are interested in supporting the channel and getting access to videos that are no longer available here, make sure that you come and join us over on Locals. The link will be in the video description down below. Supporters get access to their own exclusive videos that are no longer available to the public. So make sure you go to the link in the description and join us over there now. But anyway, guys, back to today's episode. I don't know about you guys, but I always find this stuff disturbing, right? Imagine you're a dude, you come along and you make this woman your wife, or you make this woman your girlfriend. Do you really think that she's going to stop looking at other guys in this particular way? No. Okay, and nothing says happiness and contentment quite like telling people on TikTok how happy and content you are. I'm sorry, okay, but I never believe this. If you get on TikTok and you're sitting there in your car trying to essentially convince the audience that you're happy and that you're content in life, I'm just going to assume that you're not happy and you're not content. It's the same people as, you know, people get online and go, oh, look, I'm rich. Here, let me sell you a $5,000 course. Okay, oh, look, I'm so content. I'm so happy. My relationships are fantastic. Still no boyfriend, still no husband, still no long-term relationship. But here's like a $5,000 course, or, you know, all of this nonsense on... I saw one the other day, guys. I kid you not. There was like a feminine energy coach or something like this. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Like darting my eyes at every man looking for a ring on his finger.
For anyone who's not convinced yet that the big divorce...
I've been married for 10 years. I have 4 kids. The other day, I'm out by myself in the wild, no kids. This man comes up and he's just nice to me. We talk for like 10 minutes. He's not hitting on me. He doesn't want anything. He's just nice. Now, I'm never going to see this man again, but he has me contemplating my entire life. And that's all the fuck it took. Just be nice to me for a few minutes, and I'm rethinking my whole life. I can't stop thinking about this dude.
Isn't that a great thing to know, guys? You can invest your entire life into a woman like this, and all that it takes is 10 minutes of talking to some stranger, and she's already convincing she's already convincing herself to bail and that life would be better elsewhere. It's absolutely hilarious, guys. I think I covered a TikTok the other day where a woman was talking about leaving her long-term relationship, leaving her marriage because of a TikTok or a movie she saw or something like that. It was something ridiculous, okay? This woman spoke to a man for 10 minutes, probably found him attractive, was probably getting hit on by him, and then goes, damn, if only I wasn't married, right? If only I didn't have 4 kids and all this sort of stuff. Can you guys imagine, right? As a man, investing into someone like this, and all that it takes to shake the foundations of your relationship is her talking to a guy for 10 minutes. And also, I don't know why you're talking to a random stranger dude for 10 minutes anyway. Like, I'm sorry, guys, but this whole narrative of, oh, he's just a friend and I have guy friends, like, what are you out here talking to random dudes for 10 minutes at a time for? Like, please tell me, oh, it's not romantic though, right? There's no sort of interest there. Get out of here. The dude's only talking to you for one reason, okay? Like, everyone just loves to live in this denial of reality where, oh, you know, everyone has dude friends, everyone has girlfriends, and it's totally fine. Like, let's cut the crap here, okay? The foundations of this woman's relationship were completely shook by talking to some dude who was attractive for 10 minutes. Disgusting. And the thing is, men are expected to marry into this. Yeah, no, that's just not something I can really get behind, to be honest with you.
Entire life, and that's all the fuck it took. Just be nice to me for a few minutes, and I'm rethinking my whole life. I can't stop thinking about this dude. I'm never going to see him again. I can't stop thinking about it. So yeah, I get it, and it's coming.
But maybe even to 2030, and they're going to refer to it as the Great Divorce or something.
Since we are talking about the Great Divorce and leaving abusive, manipulative, good-for-nothing relationships, I invite women to also divorce themselves from diet culture. Break up with dieting, leave dieting behind. It is oppressive, it is misogynistic, it is rooted in misogynoir.
What the hell is this? Since when is being on a diet anti-women? You see, this is the problem, right? If you call everybody anti-women, then the word loses all of its meaning, right? It's funny, guys, because a lot of people would consider my content anti-women. But you know what I think is anti-women? Womanism, ironically enough, right? You have so many women out here lying to other women, telling them, oh, don't worry, queen, you can have it all in life. And then you wind up with a generation of women who are 35, single, childless, you know, on all sorts of medication, incredibly sad. and I'm the bad guy for saying, hey, maybe this isn't the best life path for you. But apparently, guys, also diets are anti-women as well. Being healthy is rooted in misogyny, boys, apparently. I don't know about you, okay? But I don't think taking care of your health falls under this category, all right? It's funny how in modern day society, guys, right? If you're someone who takes care of yourself, if you're someone who diets, if you're someone who goes to the gym, if you're someone who wants to take life a little bit more seriously, then you're like an oppressive person. What on earth is that?
It is ableist. It is one of the most abusive relationships we could be in. Leave it. Leave it behind. Divorce your diet. Break up with dieting. Have the best relationship you possibly can with yourself.
Maybe that relationship entails going on a diet. These people make me, I swear, guys, every time I watch a video like this, I think I'm genuinely becoming stupider. I think I might actually be dropping IQ points. I would not be surprised. Like if someone told me tomorrow, like I did like an IQ test, and if, you know, I found out that I was significantly less intelligent than a couple of years ago, I would totally believe it after watching so many of these videos. I'd be like, you know what, that sounds exactly right, actually. I feel stupider. I feel like I'm slower.
The title of the article is, "The Boy Sober Movement Should Prompt Men in Their 20s to Take a Long, Hard Look in the Mirror." I guess this article is pointing out the new feminist movement, which is trying to create the female version of MGTOW, called Big Tow. Bitches go their own way. As if post-walls had a choice in the first place. They couldn't pay the average man to date them. There's a reason a certain cohort of young women are opting out of dating and sex in 2024. Guys should swerve the urge to ally themselves with the inevitable incel-esque backlash, advises Oliver Keynes, and consider whether they're part of the problem. I don't know what he just said, sounds like gibberish to me. It's perfectly acceptable among drinkers to take a break from the booze and go sober for a while. So why do other forms of sobriety arouse so much suspicion and confusion from the wider public? American comedian Hope Woodard is spearheading a trend for what she terms going boy sober. Let's stop right there. I've never heard of this so-called comedian Hope Woodard. I'm going to just assume like 99% of the female comics out there, she's not funny. And all her jokes are just being a hole that gets filled up by random men. But because she's a woman, she gets more notoriety than the average male comic who is 10 times funnier. Back to the article. The movement is about keeping your 20s untainted by toxic dating habits and roundabout relationships. In her words, it's about removing the fake sense of validation that we get from dating and situationships and sleeping around and refocusing that energy. Just as people might want to stabilize after a period of riding the highs and lows of drunkenness and hangovers.
So let me get this straight, okay? We have apparently a movement here of women who are going boy sober. The movement is about keeping your 20s untainted by toxic dating habits and roundabout relationships. Okay, so the translation here is women are tired of the fact that men don't want to commit to them. So now they're saying, listen, I'm not going to give you intimacy. Okay, bye. I'm not seeing the issue here. This sounds absolutely great, right? If you don't want to date, don't date, right? Because there are a lot of guys. Here's the thing, okay? You have a whole group of men who are getting attention from women, and they have no reason to date you at all because they can just go on to some other woman, right? I don't care how many of these articles come out about women going boy sober, okay? Because the fact of the matter is, if the dude is attractive enough, she's going to get with him. That's just the way it is. Now, so that's those men. The rest of the men who are completely, the average man who is invisible to most women, he doesn't get intimacy anyway, right? Or he doesn't want to deal with these women in the first place, okay? So all I'm hearing are wins all around, right? If you want to get rid of those toxic dating habits, hey, totally fine by me. Go out there, stop having your situationships and stop having casual bedroom fun. Okay, check this out. This is so funny. Read this phrase right here, guys. The women are done with the roundabout relationships. In other words, they don't have relationships at all. So they're getting pissed off, and the solution here is to withdraw intimacy from men. Okay. I mean, a lot of guys either are not getting intimacy anyway, or they don't want it with these women anyway, or they're going to get it regardless because they're attractive enough. Not really seeing any problems here. Fantastic stuff.
We get from dating and situationships and sleeping around and refocusing that energy. just as people might want to stabilize after a period of riding the highs and lows of drunkenness and hangovers. So someone going boy sober might want to purge themselves of the bad aspects of dating, being at the mercy of someone's mood swings or experiencing the stomach-flipping roller coaster of receiving puppy-like attention one minute and ghostly indifference the next.
Yeah, I've always said this as well, but there are so many of these girls who they get bored with dudes who are not emotionally relevant, right? Like, how many times have you seen women complain about, oh, men are toxic, men are this, men are that, and then you watch them, and they only date these quote-unquote toxic men who don't care about them. At a certain point, when are you just someone who's attracted to the toxicity? Right? I've said this, okay, but normal men who are hardworking, average guys, right? These men quickly become boring to a lot of women because they do the same thing in and out. They're consistent, right? They're not going to give you that roller coaster of emotions, right? They're typically one way. Either they like you or they don't. These dudes don't typically play games with you because they don't care enough to, right? We're not some. The average guy is not some manipulative, toxic guy, blah, blah, blah. And hell, even half the time these women call these dudes toxic, the translation is they just don't want them. Okay, so very funny here. Very, very funny stuff.
Sounds good so far, to be honest. Women would be much happier in a long term instead of sport fucking like they're in the Olympics. Dating is code word for sleeping around for most women today. It's to cover their tracks, so when you hear a chick talk about going on a bunch of dates, that's a major red flag. That's many opportunities to sleep around. And you can't give modern women the benefit of the doubt. There's honor to protect. You're better off thinking of them as glory holes by default. It'll save you a lot of time, money, and energy. Back to the article. In deciding to go a year without relationships and sex, Woodard has kickstarted a debate about the ecosystem in which many of us date and the relative healthiness of it all. Even though Woodard has talked about it being a genderless phenomenon, a bit like big dick energy, there's a palpable sense that much of her fan base, both online and at her live shows, themed around her experimental year are women who date men. What a shocker. The female comedian only talks about being an HOE. Didn't see that one coming. That's another reason why I don't need to see any female comedians, because all they talk about is either their smelly fish sticks or dating. Nothing interesting, no ideas about the world. Back to the article. The idea of going boy sober has emerged at a time when there's an awkward fascination with the fact that Gen Z 20-somethings are seen to be drinking less, going clubbing less, and having sex less. Even a UCLA survey reporting that this cohort wanted a lot less sex in films and TV made headlines. In the midst of this, the concept of going boy sober has become entwined with notions of celibacy, something more often associated with religious prohibition. But I think that's a misguided view. People going boy sober don't have a desire to be celibate. The real message here is surely that a significant number of people resonate with the idea that dating young men specifically can be as bad for you as alcoholism. So it sounds like they'll still be getting banged out by Chad and Tyrone at midnight, but not going on dates.
Yeah, see, this does not matter at all. Okay, it's absolutely hilarious. People going boy sober don't have a desire to be celibate. I totally agree. In fact, a lot of these women who claim to be going boy sober and stuff like this, it's after they're getting frustrated that they've been through so many dudes and none of the dudes actually wanted to make them their girlfriend, right? So we went through all of these different guys. We had bedroom fun with a bunch. Now we're frustrated that we didn't get commitment from any of them. So now I'm going to be celibate and I'm going to be boy sober. Okay, good riddance, right? Because they've done this action anyway. The real message here is surely that a significant number of people can resonate with the idea that dating young men specifically can be as bad for you as alcoholism. So once again, men are the problem. Men are at fault here. Absolutely classic, right? The average 20-year-old guy, he'd look at this article and just be like, what? Like, why am I bad? Like, what have I done? I can just imagine some dude who's like in his early 20s, you know, he's working his job, he's going to the gym, he reads an article like this and he's like, really, I'm as bad as alcoholism, apparently. Very interesting how no matter which way you slice it, men are always at fault, right? And whenever we're doing these generalizations at men, by the way, we're always talking about the small percentage of men that don't want to commit to women. The top percentage of men who have all of the options, that don't want to commit to women, right? These are the bad guys because they don't give women what they want. right? They just want to feel happy and secure, and they want romance and all this stuff. But the real truth of it is they want that from the men who are attractive. They do not care about the average young man. They really do not, guys. Absolutely not.
So much for the sober part. It's like saying I'm going sober from having several beers, but I'll still take some shots. If young men don't have to pay for dates, that sounds like a massive win. They can save their money to become a passport bro quicker. They're dating used up and leftover women anyway. Well-rounded men in their 20s are rare, but they do exist. Of course they're rare. Young men have to figure out a way to establish themselves. Their sexual market value won't peak till their mid-30s. I was sadly not one of them. Confusingly relaxed yet desperate. I suffered from a lack of confidence and simultaneously harbored a raging ego that would prevent me from committing to a relationship in a meaningful way. I wanted things but didn't do the work to make them happen, nor communicate them in a clear and honest way. It doesn't give me much comfort that, 2 decades on, the experience of dating a wet 20s flannel such as my former self is not unique. My life is littered with people who dated or currently date men who are emotionally unintelligent or unavailable. Dangerously low in natural empathy, too proud or insecure to ever laugh at themselves, or unable to convey sexual desire that isn't just an emotion of porn. If I could scream one thing in the general direction of 20-something men right now, it would be to reflect on the fact that women believe they need to give you up en masse in order to lead stable, happy lives. Resist the urge to ally yourselves with the inevitable incel-esque backlash from the manosphere.
I love this, right? So what we're doing is we're conflating the men that we choose to date or choose to chase with all men. So check this out, guys. So if you were to take this at face value, apparently all men who are being, all men, right, we're emotionally unintelligent or we're emotionally unavailable. So we're being called stupid here, right? Because that's what these women are saying is we're not going to date men anymore. So we're talking about men. Is how they're phrasing it, right? We don't want to date men because men are just too emotionally unintelligent. They're dangerous, guys, dangerously low in natural empathy. Yeah, we're all just psychopaths, obviously. We're too proud or insecure, right? So we're insecure, we're dangerous, we have no empathy, we're emotionally stupid. What else are we? And we're unable to convey desire correctly that isn't from spicy content found online. Okay, so very, very interesting phrasing. And again, once again, what we're doing is we're trying to shame and point out characteristics in men who don't want to date us. So check this out. If a man does not want to commit to a woman, he's emotionally unavailable, and by extension, he's emotionally unintelligent. This is absolutely hilarious stuff, guys. I love how if you're a dude, right, and you don't want to commit to women, the end result is that you'll just be shamed. Okay, what's the end shaming here? You're an ICEL. Yeah, you're an ICEL, really, at the end of it, apparently. So if you don't want to marry these wonderful Western ladies, and I use that in quotations, that you so often see all over TikTok and such like this, then you're an awful person. And they wonder why men don't want to date them, okay? They conflate all men with the percentage of men that they are trying to get into relationships with. That's really the crux of the issue here, because the average man is invisible and they do not care about the average man. The average man doesn't even enter into this equation. They're all just thinking about the bad boys that didn't want to have relationships with them. But guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. It was getting to be a little bit of a long one. Make sure you leave your thoughts and your comments. What do you think of this particular thing going here? This particular thing, right? You have women who are going boy sober. Let us know in the comments. Make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.